If you're thinking about going to the United Arab Emirates or Dubai on a visit visa with a plan of searching for jobs and become a resident in the United Arab Emirates, in this video I'll explain to you how a person can go to the United Arab Emirates or Dubai with a visit visa and finally search for a job and become a resident. I will describe all the requirements, costs, advantages, disadvantages, and risks that you can expect if you plan to go as a visitor into the United Arab Emirates, search for a job, start working, and become a resident. So if you're here for the first time, I need you to subscribe to this channel. If you're already subscribed, thank you so much. Please click the notification so that every time we have a new video, we can let you know. And if you have any question, leave a comment in the comment box. I'll get back to you as soon as possible. So let's talk about moving to Dubai or the United Arab Emirates as a visitor and become a resident. You need to get a visit visa for 90 days to the United Arab Emirates. It's better if you get a visit visa for Dubai, but even if it's Abu Dhabi or Sharjah, it's all the same. You can move around freely in any of the Emirates. It's possible to buy a 30 days visa, but in case you don't get a job in 30 days, you may need to extend, and extension will be more expensive compared to buying 30 days at once. So I recommend getting 90 days visa in the beginning. Before you move to Dubai or United Arab Emirates, you need to have a contact person, someone reliable, someone you can trust, someone who has been there for some time. Otherwise, it's very hard to go into a new place when you don't know anyone there. Once you get in Dubai, get in touch with the contact person, find a place to sleep, and then following morning, it's time to start searching for jobs. There is no time to waste. Morning, wake up, start finding out where the connections, where the walk-ins, where the interviews, and start searching for jobs. I have a video on this channel already on how you can find jobs in Dubai. So I'll put a link in the description. You can check on that and see how you can search for jobs once you get into the United Arab Emirates. That part will not be covered in this video because I have already a complete video about searching for jobs in Dubai. Once you get the job offer, take time to read it carefully before you sign. Do not just sign before you read what is in that offer. And then before you send the original to the HR department in the company where you got the job, at least take a copy of it. You can either take a photocopy or scan and send to your email, or you can take photos with your phone, but keep a copy of that offer letter. When you send back that offer letter and you have signed that you accepted the offer, then it will take the company maybe 3 to 7 days to process for you an employment visa. Once the company completes processing the employment visa, they will contact you and let you know that your employment visa is out. At that point, once you're contacted, you may choose to use your air ticket and return home for the last time before you come back to the United Arab Emirates, or you can just let it go and get ready to start work. I recommend leaving that ticket to go and get ready to start working immediately. You'll have to discuss and agree with the HR department on when you can join duty in the company. When you join the company on the first day or the second day, you will be presented with an employment contract. And again, like the offer letter, you have to read it and understand. It doesn't mean you'll have to reject or complain, but at least have an idea of what is in that contract. This will just help you to avoid surprises in future. In case something happens in future, you know that it's already covered in the contract or it's not covered in the contract. It helps you to know your rights and your privileges. After signing a contract, request for a copy for yourself as you submit the original copy. For more information about employment contracts in the United Arab Emirates and in Dubai, check in the description for a link to a video. I already have a video on this channel about the different types of contracts in Dubai and terms and conditions you expect. After submitting your signed contract, the company will now process your residence visa, Emirates ID, and work permit. This process may take 10 to 30 days, depending on the line that is at the immigration's office. And part of this process involves a UAE visa medical test. This is conducted by the government, and it tests for HIV, hepatitis B, and TB. If you pass all, then your visa will be processed, work permit, and Emirates ID. When all that is done, now you have officially and legally started working and living in Dubai or in the United Arab Emirates as a country. The residence visa will be renewed every 3 years, and every time you have to pass the same medical test that you passed on getting it the first time. If it takes you so long to get a job, that means you're going to spend a lot of money. And if you get the job early enough during your visit, then you save a lot of money. It's always better to get the job as early as you can. So from the day one, you need to hunt for jobs as hard as you can. This purely depends on your effort and your luck. Some people work so hard, but they fail to get a job. Some don't even work so hard, but they're lucky and they get the job even the first week or the first month or the second month. And if you get a better job, you can resign and change your company, provided you follow the contract terms and conditions. Let us look at the requirements that you need. You'll need a valid passport, recent passport photos. You'll need to take a COVID-19 test. You'll need to have a yellow fever vaccination book or certificate. You'll need a letter from someone in Dubai or United Arab Emirates. It could be a friend, a relative, or even a tour company. Then you'll need a visa, 90 days, like we discussed. You'll have to buy a return air ticket. It is supposed to be returned because you are going on a visit visa. The airlines will not allow you to buy a one-way air ticket if you have a visit visa. You need to plan for accommodation or rent. In this case, bed space is cheaper for the beginning if you are searching for a job. You need some upkeep money for you to eat, to travel, to photocopy, to print, to get internet, to meet all the expenses that you need to meet in daily life. Money for transport, that is definitely very important because you have to move for interviews, have to go for open interviews, appointments, and things like that. And then you need some money aside for emergencies, some miscellaneous amount, as we shall see. Let us break down the costs involved. A 90 days visit visa to Dubai or to United Arab Emirates will cost you about $250. So this price may go slightly up or slightly down depending on the tour agent who processes your visa. A return ticket will cost you about $550. This depends on the season when you are going to the United Arab Emirates. Some seasons the ticket prices are high and some seasons the ticket prices are very low. So the average is about $550. Rent or accommodation will cost you about $200 per month. This may be slightly low or higher depending on the location, depending on the conditions or the setup of the accommodation. And also something very important, how close is it to the city and how close is it to the main transport connections or transport routes like the bus routes, bus stops, metro lines. Very cheap accommodations may be very far, but that will cost you a lot if you have to travel to go for interviews. Plan some upkeep money, about $400, and money for transporting you to go for interviews, to go for walk-ins, to go whenever there's a chance of getting a job should be separate, about $300. For miscellaneous or emergencies, I need you to save about $500 aside if you can. This is money you may need if it takes long to get a job. You may need to extend the visa for maybe 30 more days or 90 days. And any other unexpected costs that may come in, maybe treatment. If you fall sick, you don't have health insurance, you may need this money to help you cover the bills. All in all, it means you need to have around $2,600 if you're planning to use plan A of going to Dubai or the United Arab Emirates as a visitor, search for a job, get a job, and then start your life as a legal resident working and living in the United Arab Emirates or in Dubai. But remember, it is very, very important to live on a tight budget. It's not time to be extravagant, it's not time for shopping. Save as much as you can while you're still searching for a job. Once you get a job and know how much you paid, then you can start shopping, going out, and doing everything you missed while searching for a job. I think it's time to look at advantages of Plan A. The first advantage is that you get a chance to tour Dubai before you start working. For some jobs, it's an advantage to have information about Dubai and the attractions. You get exposed to the job market in the United Arab Emirates as you go for different interviews. You get a chance of networking and making connections, making new friends from different countries and different backgrounds. As a visitor searching for jobs, you get an opportunity to look at different fields, different industries that you may never have thought of. You can try security, you can try lifeguards, you can try customer service, you could try waiters and waitresses, baristas. All these opportunities are there if you're in Dubai and searching for jobs. If you have a chance and you get a job in the middle management level, then you have a chance to keep your passport with you. Although, if you need to go out of the country or to take some days off duty, you still need to get permission from the company or from the Human Resources Department. The other advantage is if you get a better job, you can resign and join your new company. However, you need to follow the terms and conditions in the contract. For some contracts, if you terminate them before the end, you are required to compensate the employer. So you better look at the contract and see the terms and conditions and compare that with the new opportunity that has come. If it's a good opportunity and it's worth paying the compensation, why not? But if the difference is not that much, then you may stay, complete the contract, then look for other opportunities later. Now let's talk about the disadvantages of Plan A. The first thing you should know, there's no guarantee that you'll get a job. This should be in your mind. There's no guarantee that you will get a job. You can be there for 90 days and fail to get a job. You even extend and fail to get a job. So there's no guarantee. It will be your effort and your luck that will get you a job. The second disadvantage, this is an expensive plan. Look at all the costs and expenses you have to go through, even without confirmation that you'll get a job. Another disadvantage with this plan is it is a risky plan. If you fail to get a job, then the money is lost. You've only had a tour and then you have to go back home. If you don't have any fallback, you are in trouble. So it's a risk you have to think about before you go with Plan A. Another disadvantage is you may not get a job within your field of experience or training. Many people may be doctors back home, but they end up working as customer service, or they end up working as security guards because towards the end of your visa, you're looking for any job that is available. So instead of going back home without a job, you end up accepting a job as a security guard or a customer service manager or representative or even a waitress or waiter. So there's no guarantee that you'll get a job that you're trained for or you're experienced in. Another disadvantage with Plan A is that your valuables like the passport, documents, and money may be at risk if you stay with wrong elements. The people you stay with should be trusted, and you should also have your security, you have your lock and key. Otherwise, you may lose your passport or your money if you stay with wrong elements. And lastly, if you get an entry-level job, there are chances that you'll not be allowed to keep your passport. Your employer will have to keep a passport for you. However, it may be a good thing if it's safe with them. Please note, you will have a residence visa that you'll have to renew every 3 years. It's not easy to get citizenship or a UAE passport. However, there are ways of getting neutralized in the United Arab Emirates and getting a UAE passport. I'll have another video about how one can become a UAE citizen legally. That video will be out soon, maybe before the end of this month. Compare the advantages, compare the risks, compare the costs involved. You may find it's not even important to move to Dubai and it's better off staying in your country. Thank you so much for your time. If you got this far, please give this video a thumbs up because it seems you like it. And in case you had not yet subscribed and you're not sure if you want to subscribe, I need you to subscribe to this channel. Thank you so much. Watch out for the next video.